Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play .hack.gu Volume 2. Last time we got off the IDA server, which was super fun because we got to meet two brand new characters that I am super excited to talk about in a little while. Maybe in a little bit. I don't know if I want to spoil everything quite yet. Mostly because this is going to be another message board episode. Just like the first series, we are going to have an episode that's almost all message board stuff because, like Volume 1, it kind of throws a lot at you to read at once. Not all of it's important, and I do cut a lot of it out, but there are some key things in it that I felt were worth keeping in, and it kind of made up an episode, so there you go. So one thing GU does over the original series that I do like is that it archives your previous games' mail and news and stuff like that. It's cool because there was a lot of it, and you don't really need to go back to it for any reason other than if you just want to catch up on some story stuff. But, yeah, it's all archived, so you don't have to, like, get overwhelmed with everything all at once. So it's kind of like we're starting from scratch again. We're just getting a couple of emails from CC Corp here, just showing about some of the changes in the game. Because I think this is the first time we're actually accessing the desktop in Volume 2. Because, yeah, we've been stuck on that IDA server for the whole time. So, some changes were just a couple of minor gameplay changes to your battle system. The thing that I took away most that I felt was a very welcome change was as you're doing a charge attack for your broadsword, like not the end finisher, but like when you're just holding X right away, you can actually walk around with it, and you can also charge that attack up like to 3 different levels. So that was cool. You couldn't do that in the first game, and I thought it was pretty good to have that here because broadsword's a powerhouse, but you're pretty immobile while using it, so bleh. And they'll tell you a little bit about the new items you got. It's really nothing too much. All this is on the screen if you want to get, more. But oh, it's Adelie. I'm very relieved to have made it back to the real world. Sakaki and Zelkova made it back safe as well. That was truly an unbelievable experience, wasn't it? I still can't quite believe that our minds were trapped inside of a game. So, about my symptoms. I can talk in real life now, but I can't feel anything in the tip of my hand. It's in the exact same spot where my character was cracked. I'm a little scared. Uh-oh. That's not good. When I went to the hospital, the doctor told me that my symptoms resembled those of Doll syndrome, but he couldn't tell me what could have caused them. I thought I would have been fine once I got back to the real world. What should I do? Do you have a little time to talk? If you do, come to Makanu in the Alchemy District.
Her hand is paralyzed, so the real Adelie is...
There's
no way a doctor can help.
Concerning.
The problem's got to be Ida.
It's a little weird though, because I don't know. I can buy the coma thing, but when it comes to like your character being physically affected and then that being represented on your real person, I don't know. That's kind of weird. We have another wonderful Salvatore Ihara news segment.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us. Salvatore Ihara's Online Jack!
That's right, Online Jack. That's what it's called. I blocked it out of my memory.
And tells you
and now it's
everything
back.
you need to know about it. That's Online Jack. Our team, along with teacher Michiru Tajima, has begun the search for missing child Osamu Kawaguchi after an odd incident while investigating Doll syndrome, the mysterious disease that has been spreading among elementary school students. We began by visiting the home of Associate Professor Taichiro Sugai. It's
kind of convenient that they brought up Adelie's Doll syndrome kind of similarities, and then there's a new segment on it here.
His private life for all to see.
Yes, breaking and entering.
Still, you know.
Be quiet.
Sir, we're so sorry.
Yes, please pardon our intrusion.
If it wasn't for Mr. Jima's recommendation, I would have never let you get past the door.
Professor, I only wish to find
Wait,
out the
did he
truth.
let him in then, or?
Professor. Skaith, Innis, Magus. do you have any idea what the blood-written words in Osamu's ward meant?
Are you aware of the epitaph?
I
of
love,
Twilight?
like,
The
in
what?
animation
Yes,
or
I've
movies
heard
or
of it. It was the novel
anything
that
when
served
people
as the
are
basis
typing
for
at a
the settings of
computer,
the
because it's
world.
always just
It's a
so...
bow, and within it is contained
I don't
the
know.
names of the
It
8
always looks
ominous
so weird.
waves.
So you mean there really is a connection between this incident and the world?
Whoever left the bloody words evidently had extremely strong feelings regarding the world.
So, it's possible that Osamu may not have been the one who wrote them, right?
The word or anagram Ida, which appeared in your show while you were taping at Osamu's, is unknown. However,
I love how focused they were on just moving the mouse and clicking it. It's so unnecessary.
Sakaki.
Can you tell me about Sakaki?
there were 6 boys who were all part of the same guild in the online game, The World.
So that's what a PS2 controller looks like in 2017.
This is Moon Trees.
The boys were also members of a guild called Moontree.
So all those children were part of an online game group too?
It's the Seven Council. Ha!
That's right. The PC name for one of the members of the Seven Council, a Moontree admin group, is...
Sakaki.
My pupil?
These were taken before his disappearance.
Oh my, that's Osamu.
There were many unresolved rumors about the world circulating 7 years ago.
When a bunch of players fell into comas.
What?
Yes, I've come to believe that the world has some sort of effect on people's brains for some unknown reason. That's the hypothesis I based my investigation on.
At least somebody's talking about it. It's so weird how this was like such a huge incident in the past game, and like by this point, like everybody's forgotten about it. Or like too many people have forgotten about it. There are some that like bring it up, but
Strange
like
incidents such as irregularities in
know.
electrical equipment occurred in the hospital as well.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for that
I wonder
butt
who
shot.
sent me this email.
It's very
Michiru,
critical.
Don't scare me like that.
What? We have to stop it.
Michiru! Michiru Tajima has just suddenly run out of Professor Sugai's apartment. What was the message on her cell phone that made her run? Hey, Michiru, wait up!
Swell. What else is in the news? I left something in. Has to be interesting. That one wasn't. But what about this? It was a day that will live in infamy for CyberConnect Japan. Tens of thousands of complaints were registered from players of CC Corp's popular game The World, claiming they had been trapped inside the game. CC Corp's customer support was completely swamped under the pressure, and their company website went down for an unspecified length of time. Yeah, I'll bet they were huge help. They didn't know what to do at all. Each of the claims said that the players were trapped inside of the game and were unable to log out. In response, CC Corp announced that the phenomenon was actually a type of cyber terrorism in which a program containing subliminal effects was somehow launched inside the world. CC Corp said they would be filing a report with the whatever to have the incident investigated. The NAB? What the hell is the NAB? Assistant professor of psychology, blah 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 blah, had this to say: while it is true that subliminal effects exist, test subjects have always had to focus intensely on the media that contains them for them to work. It is hard enough to eliminate background noise and other distractions in a laboratory, let alone everyday life, to achieve the kind of effects being talked about here. Furthermore, it has been proven repeatedly that subliminal effects do not have anywhere near the blah 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 blah. So basically, everybody's kind of debating what kind of thing happened with the IDA server, because naturally if you got trapped inside the game, so many people claiming that, you know, it's people are going to hear about it in the real world, and you know, some people I guess are going to try to explain it rationally or disprove it or whatever, I guess this news story in particular is trying to write it off as like some kind of hallucination. I don't know, but I just thought it was kind of interesting if you want to read more about it in detail. These news segments can get pretty interesting. I don't like to leave a lot of them up just because, you know, it's not exactly the most entertaining for watching. But I don't know. I do think the news segments are kind of one of the more unique aspects of the Dot Hack series, so I do like to leave the more interesting ones in. Same thing with the forum posts here. This is where I'm kind of more interested because of actual player talk. Hello all, this is my first time posting on this board. I'm Heel Red, the leader of the Medic Union. The last round of server troubles was truly amazing. I was inside of the game, unable to log out. A true pickle. Currently, we at the Medic Union are investigating the situation on our own. We would love for any of the server trouble victims to assist us. As soon as the results of our investigation are completed, we plan to send them to CC Corp and launch a full protest. If you would like to help, please whisper me at either what or whatever. Thank you. Come on, there's no way anyone can get trapped inside a game. Please stop spreading your lies. What are you going to do if CC Corp ends up shutting down the world? How are you going to take responsibility for what happens? That said, let me offer my personal opinion. I've always respected the Medic Union up until now, but I'm extremely disappointed after reading this post. I can't believe your entire guild would be a willing accomplice to what amounts to active cyber terrorism. It's still too not late. Please stop this while you can. What a self-righteous piece of shit. Heel Red is telling the truth. We're really trapped inside the game. When you say trapped, you mean that you just weren't able to log out, right? I personally think you're severely exaggerating. Please stop making this to be a big deal. No, I mean that we really were trapped inside the world. I distinctly remember trying to move my fingers and having my character move them the same way. That was no mistake. Nah, afraid I can't believe it. I mean, there's just no way that can happen. It sounds like one of those BCI things. This is my biggest concern. To be honest, it's really a nuisance how much missed it, whatever. Yeah, so basically same thing with the characters here. They're kind of, you know, going back and forth between did this happen, did this not happen. There's enough people, apparently, to claim it happened. You know, we didn't see them because, there was like 4 groups of 3 people, but I don't know. But this Nuada guy, you'd see later on in some other posts that he's doing his own little private investigation on it. And something else they started here, they started a Lost Ground mega thread, like kind of chronicling the Lost Grounds you come across and their context for their maybe original purposes in the story and other rumors that may go on with them. So once it scrolls down, we can take a look at some of them. First one's the Holgrons Cathedral. That was the place where we fought Tri-Edge. The official setting is the Holy Cathedral in which the humans imprison the goddess Aurora. Rumor has it if you come here at midnight in real lifetime, you can hear a young girl crying, and those who hear her crying will fall into a coma a week later. And if you target and search the mark on the altar, something happens. You will get cursed and eventually your real life self will be PK'd by Tri-Edge. Maybe that was one of the reasons Sasayo thought to go there in the first place. Archaic Helm Waterfall was where we originally talked with Ovan. The official setting is the place where a young cleric summoned the gods when the humans fought the power of the shadow. How about rumors? Using a special item here will open up a new path that will let you enter the temple behind the waterfall. So maybe like a secret quest or something. The Morogobera Wall, that was the place where we went to go fight Tri-Edge in the first game at the end of the game. It's the giant gate which blocks the way to the heavens, protected by the God of Law Falset. Rumor has it, by bringing the key of the Twilight here, it will open the gate, and the God of the World is on the other side of the gate, and he will grant the wishes of those who bring him the key. And then, I mentioned this earlier, the Isle of Kings. I never really considered it a lost ground, since it's still, like, a major place within the actual game. But it's an artificial island created by the humans who fought and won against the gods. It contains a chapel that was built as a victory memorial. Rumor has it players who have become Arena champions can get a special Emperor-only skill here. Maybe that came up by, like, the flash skill that Endrins has and the, you know, what people think Kasayo have. But, like I said before, I don't really consider the Isle Kings, like, a lost ground. I don't know. Lost grounds to me always seemed like cut content that was still in the game. But Isle of Kings, I don't know, it's like very obviously a place that people are meant to go to. The other Lost Grounds just kind of seem like places people have stumbled upon. And then there's the Apollo Forum. If you haven't watched Volume 1, this is like the one thing in the boards that I always leave in, just like the drawings of people do. This is kind of like a DeviantArt kind of page where different players will post different drawings, and you can use those drawings to, you know, set new wallpapers. The one I have up right now was actually a wallpaper from the first game. You know, some of them are really good, and some of them are not so good. And some of them are just bleh. You know, look at this kid here. He took a crayon and drew Haseo and Ovan. That was cool, I guess. And then someone much better at drawing Ovan and Shino, which doesn't have Haseo, so I'm a fan. That one was cool. I liked how the face was drawn. This one, it's, you know, it's whatever. But there's like a lot of different styles here, and I think that's like another cool thing about the game. Like, I don't know if like they had a specific art team draw a bunch of these. That one's really cool. I like the outlines on that one. I don't know if they had like a specific art team do this, or if they were just like drawn by some of the developers. I don't know. But it's cool that it's here, I think. Oh my god, the boobs on that one. But yeah, I like to leave those in. I don't really leave the posts themselves in, but you know, it's something. And then I guess to finish off this episode, I left in that card game Crimson Versus that was talked about like way too much in the first game. I get to like build up hype for it in the second one when it came back. It was down for whatever reason. I think Ida had something to do with it in like the forum explanations. This is all just like another side quest you can do. I initially wasn't gonna do much with it at all, but I don't know, I got a little more into it than I expected to. It helps that it's like an automatic card game too, which seems like, why? Like, what's the fun in that? But I don't know. It has its appeal, I guess. Once I figured out, like, your deck only has 4 cards in it, like a general card and then 3 cards supporting it, I thought, okay, maybe I can, like, play around with this a little bit. I'm not, like, the biggest knowledgeable person to talk to about Crimson Versus, though. That's the only thing. I can't really offer too much in terms of, like, strategy or anything. I don't even know if I could really, like, explain the rules too much accurately. There's better places out there if you want to get more into it, but basically each player will have a general card, and they have, like, a basic health and attack representation, and they basically take turns attacking each other. And then the unit cards can do a variety of things. They can, like, add more attack onto general, or they can add more health. They can have a special effect sometimes. But before the generals, you know, automatically fight, the unit cards will automatically fight against each other. So, like, your first unit card will fight against the second, your other player's unit card, and so on and so forth. There's like a rock, paper, scissors type of strategy, because each of the unit cards has like a different type. I'm not too sure about how much all that works. I just kind of wing it. And my dog's been pretty vocal in this episode. I think he has a few things to say about everything happening. Now we got some guy outside, so that's fun. I get to wait who knows how long until he's done doing whatever he needs to do, until the next episode can record. But I didn't want to say I was my general, so I picked Balmung. And I guess maybe this is a good time to talk about it, since I don't know. I can't really explain Crimson Versus particularly well. You can see the descriptions on the bottom there to give a sort of okay idea. I don't stick with this deck for forever. I have like another episode where I like go more in depth about, you know, like a better strategy. So I'll talk more about that then. This I'm just trying to like just, you know, mess around with. But my general there, Balmung, you may notice he looks a lot like the one character that showed up in the last episode. And there's a reason for that. See, Tri-Edge isn't the only character that takes on, like, a creepy-looking version of a previous game's character. The two people that showed up that were assisting Tri-Edge, they were party members and main characters in the first series, too. The one general we have, Balmunk here, he's the guy with the wings, and his wings are, like, clipped, or you just see the bones of the wings, or something like that. He was partners with your friend Orca that fell into a coma, and that was what the other guy was. He was, like, the creepy version of Orca. You know, and the two of them were investigating, like, the virus problems of the world earlier, before the main game started. And when Orca fell into a coma, Balmunk blamed you, Kite, for what had happened. Because Kite saved Balmunk by using Data Drain, and Balmunk realized that Data Drain was, like, the same skill that put Orca into a coma. So you two were, like, at odds with each other. But the three of them together, I guess, formed, like, a group called the Azure Knights after the main game, and kind of, you know, cleaned up any remaining virus situations. So it's cool that they're back in that kind of form. Be honest, I would have liked to see a creepy version of Black Rose, considering she had, like, more of a relevance in the game, but for the purpose of, like, having a antagonist group of three, I kind of get why they went with Orca and Balmunk. I'm not really, like... I don't really think it's, like, inappropriate or anything like that. It's still cool. I just, you know, the fanboy in me would just like to see, like, a version of Black Rose like that, too. But, yeah, you can, this is just a practice battle, just going against one of the other pre-made decks that they gave you at the start of the game, just to see how my new deck went. And I won, so I'm gonna stick with that. And what'll happen is, as you play the game, I think, like, every minute that goes by that you play, a battle in Crimson Versus goes by, and you can check back later to see how you do, and honestly, it's kind of it. I never really took this to, like, beating the champion, so I don't know if there's, like, a bigger prize, or remember, I mean, I did it the first time I played the game, but this one I just kind of, like, dabbled in it, but anyway, so that was a bit of a slower episode. Next time we'll meet Adelie and see what she's doing, so see you later, guys.